Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site, and on Patreon for access support and any kind of updates and such. I usually go about the Twitter X platform. Regarding channel updates, later we will get a Dead Space remake episode, and I will throughout the day upload the two VOD. Or the two episodes from the VOD in VOD, sorry, from the not yesterday's live stream. It's going to be VOD to free. I think it's from the 23rd. I divided in two parts there, so I will upload them throughout the day. And the last yesterday's live stream was the last. I will try probably upload today also. I don't know, because I'm trying to see if I can do some live streaming on Shadow of the Erdtree. We are getting along there. I have a couple of field bosses, let's say, that I have to postpone because I think I explored, without trying to get into much spoilers, I explored a lot of the south of the map, and I think it's not supposed to be in the intended way that I'm supposed to go there yet. I think it's like more late game stuff in that area. Let's say that way without entering in spoiler territory. And yeah, I still need to find. I found the map marker there from the southern part, and it's yeah, it's terrifying the things there, but very also pretty in terms of the art direction that they got there. And also there, what can I tell you? Yeah, a lot of lore stuff there, very intriguing. I explored that on the live stream, at least my current thoughts when I was discovering stuff there. But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff on the southern part of the map. I'm heading now kind of where they are pointing me towards the NPCs, and I will to start exploring more that region on the next live stream for sure. That's my intention. But yeah, other than that, I think we are good. Tomorrow I don't have a gameplay series to do. It will be Jedi Survivor on Thursdays, and then Dead Space remake on Friday. Yeah, but I will try to stream every day regardless. Yeah, I'm trying to stream at least 2 hours. The last two live streams, yesterday I did manage to get around 3 hours. It will be just one episode of VOD there. But yeah, other than that, I will try to stream as much as I can. But then again, freelancer schedules don't allow me to have a proper live stream schedule also. So yeah, I try to stream as much as I can. It's been a blast here. And I will cover a little bit more news on the Shadow of the Erdtree, because again, I want to make a point regarding some stuff regarding the Shadow of the Erdtree. But yeah, news. We got Steam Deck. It's not something that I usually go for. This kind of mobile thing or handheld stuff there. Not even consoles. I'm more myself a PC player, even though I had already. I think the last console that I had was a PlayStation 2 at the time that it came out. At the time, it cost me 600, or the equivalent of $600 at the time, which is a lot of money. Even then, I have to pay in installments, like free installments at the time. But yeah, that was my last console that I had. I played a lot of games. Given the most relevance for me was some Gran Turismo. I don't know which version. I think 2 or 3. I don't remember which one. And again, yeah, the game that I played the most was Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. And before that, I had the PlayStation 1 when I played Metal Gear Solid. It's the games in terms of console that pops in my head as the greatest ones that I played. But yeah, I experimented with a lot of games at the time with PlayStation 2, but I don't remember exactly which ones. But yeah, similarly, the Steam Deck is $300, and this is the version of Steam Deck 300, where is this? Ah, here. It's the 64 gigabytes LCD. They got two variants, which is the LCD monitor and OLED. I think it's the only main difference between these two, because I think even internal, it's always, it's basically the same thing. The size, the Wi-Fi's, even the APU there, I think it's all the same. They just upgraded for OLED. And this is the versions that are on a promotion. It's the 64 LCD, $300, and the 512 gigabytes LCD, it's $380-ish in promotion. Again, it's a huge discount, and it's even cheaper than the 256 gigabytes LCD version of the Steam Deck. Again, I think this promo is to try to run out of stock as soon as they can. I think they are. I will assume they prefer to sell the OLED, given that it's a newer version. And from the news that I've been seeing, the Steam Deck is pretty competent on playing games, and they are very serviceable in the like repairability of the Steam Deck itself, and it's very durable. I only heard like good things from Steam Deck. You might get some issues here and there, mainly regarding performance in some games. Again, this is a handheld. I don't know why people still think that they can play a lot of games at 60 FPS max settings on a handheld. Again, I will assume it's not possible. So my expectations regarding that are in check, I think. And I think they are also preparing themselves to do an upgrade on the internal specs, for example, with the Zen 5 coming up, APU stuff there. I will assume that they are prepping up some stuff to launch a new Steam Deck with new internals there, so upgraded internals in terms of, especially on the APU side of things. Given that I think OLED is more than good enough, and having even at 600 Hz refresh rate, but I think this is the LCD thing. Yeah, this is the LCD. I'm not sure regarding the OLED if it is. I think it will have higher refresh rates there, but yeah. Oh, wait, sorry. Over 5 variants, I completely missed this one. The OLED model is also newer APU, faster memory, a higher capacity battery, a slightly larger display. It's not that much. Okay, sorry, I completely missed this one out. I cannot highlight, so I forget things. But yeah, this is a little bit upgrade on the OLED, so I will backtrack on what I was saying. But yeah, I think the capacity here is the biggest selling point to a certain extent, mainly because again, games occupy a lot of space in the disc there. Even though I think they got expansion options on the memory there, but yeah. But I think this push to sell these older Steam decks is they are for sure preparing something and launching with probably a new Zen 5 series APU stuff there, like the 8000 stuff, because I think this newer APU is not the newer from the 8000 series. I still think it's older stuff there. Yeah. Other than that, the promotion is available till July 11th. Again, I think you can only get them through the Steam app. So yeah, the Steam storefront. So that's that. But yeah, it's not something that I'm interested in, but it's always good. There are a lot of people that are playing around with this kind of handhelds. Now, regarding Shadow of the Erdtree, the users again, I mentioned this yesterday, but I just want to reinforce my my belief that again, at the moment, the user reviews are mixed, and it seems to be that a lot of it has to do some with performance issues, and again, the excessive difficulty of the new content. I really don't understand this. They've been at least they've been explicit from what I've been seeing, that the content is going to be even especially the bosses. They said they're going to be at least at the same level of difficulty of Millennia, kind of a thing there. So high end game difficulty at least. And they mentioned they've been putting out that you got the skidoo tree kind of a thing mechanics there, which is like to ramp up the attack power and damage negation stuff there. It's available. You can find it openly on the open world there. I don't have any kind of difficulties of missing out any of these, even though I do. I always try to be very meticulous on my explorations, and I didn't see any kind of very hidden kind of out of the way the upgrades that I mentioned here, so you can ease up a little bit. And you can continue to upgrade your character. There is no limitations there, even though you got soft caps. But yeah, even the new weapons and armor, they seem to be in line with the end game difficulty that they are putting there on the Shadow of Tree. Again, I got difficulties here and there, but again, this is an open world thing. I think it's more trying to guide people in a certain direction, the same way they did with the base game. I don't comprehend why people thought that with their own builds, they will just smash through the entirety of the DLC. It basically loses a little bit of the purpose of and the philosophy of what Miyazaki does in terms of gaming and DLCs. We already have this kind of, to a certain extent, with the Dark Souls 3 DLC. It was the ramping up in difficulty was very high. Starting with Ashes of Riandel, then Ring City was kind of a nightmare if you were not if you're not well prepared for that. So yeah, I don't understand the complaints there. Again, I think people got completely different. I think they set their expectations in a completely different way. That even though Miyazaki gave a lot of interviews, even people that did, especially the preview stuff, they told everybody that this is not going to be very easy, but there are mechanics inside the game that will allow to ease up the difficulty. That's why we don't have a difficulty slider on the game, because the game is designed to allow certain a huge variety of tools for you to take advantage of and ease the experience to a certain degree, or to overcome the obstacles using those tools. One of those tools is Ash summons, and also you can summon players. Especially, I will assume remembrance bosses. We will have like an NPC summon also there, and then you can also summon your Ash, so it's makes it a little bit easier on the experience. And the only remembrance boss that I had difficulties, which we saw on the DLC, which is the Divine Beast with the lion dance thing there. I used the summon, the NPC summon. He handled pretty well. It lasted from the tries that I got. It lasted till at least half of the fight there, if not mistaken. And then I saw I was in trouble, and throughout the tries that I was going about there, I had to use my Ash Summon Spirit, which is like a copy. I used the Mimic tier at that time to try and help me out. And I eventually got around with the boss, even though the boss, again, they are more aggressive. They are harder to, at least the bosses are harder to stagger, if even if you can do that. I will assume it is. I don't have like I don't think I have a build to stance break everybody, but I think it's doable, but it's harder to do. Again, it's the ramp up in difficulty. I don't know why people are complaining about that. I'm going through that. In some bosses, I just skip for now. I will eventually go to them because I know it's doable. It's just a matter of trying to get around, inflict a little bit more damage there, and try to negate some of the damage that I'm receiving. Other than that, I don't see the difficulty on those enemies there. But yeah, I can understand performance issues, of course. I didn't have any huge on the south part. I think it's more when you are near bodies of water. I think because it's more on the borders when you reach the water stuff. That seems to be more. I have more difficulties on the performance there. It stutters a little bit here and there, but if I remove myself from watching the water. I think it improves a little bit. I'm not sure what's happening there. I don't have any RT or kind of huge things on the reflections. But yeah, other than that, if you can complain about the mechanic that they implemented, the Skidoo tree thing there, um, might not be the best way of going about it. But other than that, just complaining about difficulty by complaining it. Again, we've been seeing this discussion with a lot of people want From Software games to have a difficulty slider. I don't think this will ever happen. At least in the sense of the game design aspect there. I don't think it serves the purpose of the games there to have a difficulty slider because yeah, it's the game philosophy and how they design the game around that. Everything is balanced, so you don't have to put a slider there. It's a different game design there. And again, if you want games with difficulty sliders, you got plenty of those around. I don't know why people complain about this. Again, you got tools inside the game. You just need to take advantage of those tools. And one of the things regarding especially Shadow of the Erdtree, I think it's trying to discover, um, usually depending on the boss, because again, bosses have their weaknesses, and there is a way of exploiting their weaknesses, and it's a matter of trying to find out which tools are better to use from elemental damages, because a lot of bosses have some difficulty or weaknesses regarding certain element damage, or like a tool that you might have, like a consumable that you can use to exploit something. Even status alignments can be taken advantage of in certain bosses. But yeah, there is a lot of tools in the game. I don't know what to tell you to take advantage of. Yeah, but you're not going to just one hit KO every boss there. I don't know what people were thinking there. But yeah, other than the performance issues, and probably have a discussion if the mechanics implemented specifically for the DLC in terms of the Skidoo tree things. If people have a nuanced discussion there. Other than that, I don't see a lot of reasons to complain. But yeah, other than that, they are still mixed. But again, they are still mixed because people are still enjoying the DLC. They are not very worried of have to review bomb, let's say, the DLC per se. But yeah, I think people are just enjoying the DLC. They are not paying too much attention if it's mixed or not mixed. It's been a successful DLC launch, at least around last Saturday. Almost 800,000 people were online playing the game, basically reaching almost a peak concurrent players of almost 1 million when the base game was launched. So, and I see a lot of the Steam charts is having a healthy concurrent player base there still. It will eventually lower a little bit because people finish the DLC and that's it. But other than that, I think the game is selling well. I think a lot of people managed to get around finishing up Moog to access the DLC in the meantime, because the concurrent player base there. Yeah, the game has been selling well. It is a demonstration that overall this mix backed kind of a thing on the review page. I think people will start giving less importance in these kind of huge launches, because they know that there are some factions they don't like the game, or just straight out hate the game, or just straight out give 10 out of 10s out of nowhere on the games. But yeah, I think in these big launches, people will tend to care less about the reviews there, and they tend to be focusing more on like video reviews of people they trust in their expertise in reviewing something. But yeah, basically it's my overall takes there. Don't go judge by the fact that it's mixed that it's a bad DLC. I see that a lot of people have some performance issues, but other than that, I don't see any kind of reason for critiquing this. Hopefully these performance issues are addressed. I don't know if it is something regarding driver related, or maybe it's some patch they have to put out and address this situation here. But yeah, other than that, I don't see any reasons for people not playing the Shadow of the Erdtree. It's an excellent experience. It's an adventure by itself. It's the game gets bigger, the map gets bigger and bigger. You start exploring nooks and crannies. You see weird stuff. You start reading the item descriptions and the descriptions of a lot of stuff. You start getting more and more answers and some questions also, which is very good. But yeah, even the art direction has been awesome so far. The visual aspect is at the same level or superior to the base game. And yeah, other than that, I didn't experience so far any kind of performance issues per se, just a stuttering here and there. But again, I think it's more when I'm near bodies of water. I think that's I suppose it's like reflection stuff issues, but I think it could be addressed in a patch ASAP. But yeah, I will leave it at that for the time being from the Shadow of the Erdtree. And yeah, and lastly, we got this thing with the Doctor Respect. Again, I don't watch the man. I probably watch one clip or two, like 1.5 minutes clips here and there with some commentary here and there throughout the years. Nothing that much. Yeah, but this situation, I think it's not about that respect itself. It's how the culture itself surrounds itself uh, with the Me Too stuff or believe all accusers mentality that we are having here. I've been watching some stuff regarding the how they call it, the tube lawyers or lawyer tubes, people that usually try to cover in things in a legal perspective here. And yeah, again, just a quick recap. Basically, this guy was had like a multi-million-dollar contract and a multi-year contract with Twitch, and then all of a sudden they got banned. Again, a lot of stuff happened there. It's basically been 4 years a lot since then. But yeah, in the meantime, there was no reason for why he was banned. But then again, in a I don't know, lawyer, they might be lawyering it up at the time and then basically discovered why it was banned. In the meantime, they reached an agreement, I will assume NDAs and all that legally stuff there, and basically the thing was settled there. Um, but in the meantime, this guy, which seems to be like a grifter, again, I'm not doing any kind of accusation, this is just a personal perspective of how I'm seeing things and how things are coming out to the public. This guy on Friday, this Cody Connors, which I'm not mistaken, he worked on Twitch in like relationship with content creators, something like that. I think he was almost in the C-suite kind of level there to a certain extent. Yeah, he made some accusation. Basically, yeah, it's an accusation because of how it's written. It basically started off with he got banned because got caught sexing a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product, which is kind of DM feature there, that it doesn't exist anymore from what I know. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that could be read in plain text, case closed gang, and no one made the wrong decision. Fuck him and his boys. Again, I think this has to do with the Twitch didn't make any kind of wrong decision by the fact that they banned them, something like that. Um, yeah, but the problem is this guy at least 1 year ago, give or take, supposedly has a band, and he was trying to ramp up sales tickets for his venue by saying if they got fully booked, he will announce the reasons why Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch, which is grifting at its most explicit form, which is something I don't think he even could talk about it. Again, the NDAs, at that kind of level, I don't know the legalese of that, but yeah, this doesn't look good, at least from this point of view, because it's basically just making up shit or making some accusations without any proof. Again, because there was this deal, there is no proof of anything. So you have to take into account that even with an NDA, this this kind of things is very really very complicated because when you got the deal and it's settled, and there was and the result of the settlement was basically the announcement from both parties was that nothing wrong was done, so there is no breaking laws, because you cannot cover an breaking laws, from my understand, by with an NDA, which makes sense, of course. So, and again, the speculation that, again, this is the new thing. It's the alleged reasons for being sexting a minor. Again, there is a huge amount of stuff that could happen here. Again, it might be he was sexting a minor, but I don't think so, because if they supposedly they have proof of what he was doing, supposedly, again, allegedly, they have proof of this. If they had proof of this, they will get them into court and sue him for I don't know, something sexual related with a minor. But yeah, this seems to be a little bit of trying to smear people out of nowhere. I don't know. I will assume it's envy because the guy just got paid out of this, of the fact that Twitch had to break the contract of the multi-year contract, and he got paid. And again, taking into account that one of the responses that he made regarding this is obviously I'm tied to legal obligations, which is basically saying that he has an NDA from the settlement. It's basically I have an NDA without saying I have an NDA, because from what I understand, this new and the most recent kind of thing with NDAs is you're not allowed to basically directly refer that there is an NDA in place to begin with. With the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say that I can say this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal, no wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Again, the wording here, again, he cannot just out of the blue say these kind of things without properly being vetted by a lawyer, so he doesn't break any kind of agreements. So basically, again, this is referring, I suppose, with the findings of the settlement and the conclusion of the settlement is basically did anything wrong, and supposedly everything was probed and settled. So the internal investigations that were occurred inside Twitch, basically they were settled and reached the conclusion that nothing was wrong, and especially here, supposedly nothing illegal. So no wrongdoing was found, no illegal stuff was done. Again, there is a lot of scenarios where this can be happening here, and afterwards this thing from this guy Cody Connors and the conversation around X. I didn't follow up this live, of course. I don't follow these people. Supposedly Midnight Society, which is a company co-founded by Guy Beam, which is Dr. Disrespect, and the other guy, which is this guy, Robert Browning. They were co-founders of this studio here, which are doing, again, just a quick rundown here. They it's basically a developer studio. They are doing a multiplayer game. I don't remember which the name of the game they're doing at the moment in time. It's got 50 something developers there. Again, this guy was made aware of the situation, and this is before the statement from the Midnight Society. I think the article should be put it on a more timeline, kind of a follow-up of events there. Supposedly I'm not aware. I'm now aware and dealing with it. Again, I think it's the proper response here. Then people start speculating why he did say I'm now aware and dealing with it, very vague-ish and everything. Again, this guy doesn't know what happened on the settlement with the Dr. Disrespect and Twitch. Again, only Dr. Disrespect and Twitch know what happened with the settlement, because again there is an NDA, so people don't know exactly what happened, the details there. So that's why a lot of people trying to speculate around these kind of things here. But yeah, And he made a point of here because people were starting nagging him about the fact that he's aware and dealing with it. And he said that, yeah, because he said, I'm very deliberate, mean now aware. I landed Stockholm, saw the tweet, immediately began an investigation to learn everything I need to know so I can ensure a full follow through. Again, you, as a co-founder or owner or whatever it is, you don't take decisions based on what you hear on X. That's for sure. Um, then here in response to this guy, I don't know, is also not an acceptable answer for me, to me, which is why I decided to accept the result of the lawsuit. When the lawsuit was settled and sealed, all I have to go on was the public information. No wrongdoing and knowledge on either side. Yeah, that makes perfect sense here. I'm not defending or saying it, just because I also don't know this guy here. Then people just piling through, saying that he has to believe the accusers, or have to believe in all, not with respect to people that want him to follow through. And basically, so far, in terms of public discussion here, is taking the right approach. Sorry, it's I'm literally not catering to either side. That's what's upsetting you. Pro-dog people want me to blindly side with him, and anti-dog people want him to blindly outcast him. I'm doing neither. I'm talking with him personally, collecting all information to act on. Again, but this basically led to the to this basically, and I think this is not a good statement here from this Midnight Society. On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders. Again, became aware of an allegation. Again, anybody can put an allegation forward, and like this guy Cody Connors did. We assume his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. Again, assuming he's innocent, with the which parties involved? You're going to talk about it, what? You're going to talk about this guy, Cody Connors, and Dr. Disrespect about this? Are you going to speak with which about this, about the case that they cannot talk about? Again, that's for this reason we are terminating our relationship with Kai Bean immediately. Again, this has some legalese associated with this, terminating our relationship. What kind of relationship did they had? Co-founder doesn't mean nothing. Because we have to assume that he was a co-founder, so he has some kind of interest on the company, like shares and the stuff. They did terminate the relationship. In which regard? Was he on a contract, like a third-party contract with a company in some capacity, like a consultant or on the game itself, something like that? Yeah, this has to be more explained here, and the fact that it just went by again with an allegations, which we'll have to assume it's the allegation taking into account their own principles and standards as a studio. Again, should be a clause there. We got the Me Too stuff that people just, we saw a lot of allegations coming forth, and people just were getting fired out of allegations, and basically that set a legal precedent on that. But this can backfire to Midnight Society. And they continue, while these facts are difficult to hear and even more often difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially on the 55 developers and families we have employed along with our community of players. Again, this is corporate talk, trying to scapegoat the fact that they did because they have 55 developers and families they have employed here. Again, this is very exculpatory, trying to make their way, sneak out of their way of firing a guy based on an allegation on their principles and standards as a studio. This doesn't fly, at least with me. But yeah, it is what it is. Again, in terms of speculation, what might happen, I give my 2 cents, given that I don't know a lot of what happened there. Again, people tend to forget that these kind of platforms, Twitch, if it is something that is, according to allegation, texting a minor, again, I think Twitch, you have to be 13 or older to use Twitch as a user. If it is something in around that age, that under 13 person or girl that it was using Twitch and was using the whisper feature to supposedly contact Dr. Respect, by itself, Twitch is already in fault because they didn't do the proper diligence of avoiding under 13 year. I think it's still under 13. Again, I'm just spitballing here. Of doing the due diligence of not allowing a 13-year-old person to use the platform, and then even if they allow it, which is they are not supposed to according to the law itself, in even terms and conditions, supposedly they had access to this whispers feature, and supposedly like this Cody Connors said that they had like the transcripts. Again, there is, I think, COPA or something like that on the United States that you cannot basically check information in regarding minors. So there is some shenanigans happening there. Even taking into account the allegations that are there, got several issues there. Then you got some issues regarding minors, depending on the state that you are, depending, can be 16, 18. Even taking into account a lot of this, taking into account that the allegations are true, there is a lot of shenanigans happening there regarding that. But then again, if something like that happened, that might be, let's say, crime, like breaking the law, any kind of minor stuff, like contacting minors in a non-normal way, let's say. Yeah, and supposedly they have evidence of that. They have to go directly to report that and do the proper legal diligence regarding that, which cannot be basically covered by an NDA. This kind of situation, it's not allowed under the law, or else we got murder cases to be unsolved because they are under an NDA between several parties involved there. But yeah, what I think the most, again, I don't know the persons involved here. It's just a speculation thing. I think what might probably have happened, probably somebody contacted him through this whisper feature, which is basically DMs, and again, taking into account that some minors, and I don't even know on Twitch if they're in the channel, because my content is marked for 18. It's not a child content thing, so I know supposedly 13 and younger will not see my content, supposedly. I don't mark adult only because I don't do any kind of weird stuff. I swear from time to time, and basically that's it. I don't do any kind of weird things here, just covering gaming and playing games online when I can. But I will assume that I'm not dealing with minor people when I interact in the platform, at least, and that minor people are not watching my content. Because if I on YouTube, if you put that your content can be viewed by children, you have to follow through some certain checks there. You have some guidelines that you have to obey to make children content friendly stuff there. And because I don't want to do, I don't think it's what I talk about it is any kind of interest for any kind of children, and 13 and younger, so that's that. I'm not sure if, for example, Twitch as like a function that your content is made for, let's say, 16 and older, or 17, like an age gap thing there happening. I'm not sure. I don't use Twitch. I have an account there, but I didn't touch that account, that Twitch account, I don't know, for 6-7 years. So I'm not sure if when you are using the platform, and for example, when you are streaming, if you have the ability of age keeping your platform, so only persons from let's say from 18 and older can see the content, or they have to verify to be 18 and older. Something like that might happen. Again, what I will assume is somebody might have contacted him. He was completely unaware that the person itself on the whisper thingy uh, was contacting him. Probably the conversation might be on the lines, I hope to see you on TwitchCon, and he said yes, it will be a pleasure to know you. Oh, what, like normal conversation that people might have. And if you take it out of context of and make it like a minor is conversing with a normal person and an adult, might can be construed in interpreting that the guy is trying to arrange a meeting, especially on a public avenue, which is one of those things. He trying to arrange a meeting on TwitchCon. Again, this is all very weird the way they go about it here, trying to get around thing. But again, just to make to wrap up this thing. Probably it's what happened. Somebody made conversation, and the guy, just to try to be nice, replied something in the lines, "Yeah, it will be good to meet you up on TwitchCon. We'll see you there," or something on those lines, kind of a thing here. And somebody tried to, in bad faith, trying to get around and get his ass banned, because this ban happened basically 1 or 2 weeks after Mixer closed off, and the contract that he signed, the multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract that he signed with Twitch, was to try to avoid them to go to the competition, which at the time was Mixer. I think they got Ninja or whatever it is. There was like a huge YouTube or Twitch streamer at the time, and I think they tried to close them on to put him like exclusively contract with Twitch, with that multi-year, multi-million-dollar, so we can not go to the Mixer at the time. And then 2 weeks after the Mixer closed off their platform, basically the ban happened. Again, multi-million-dollars, they maybe try to wheeze out this guy out of contract with this kind of message, which I will assume it might happen a lot. People that have like a membership on the channel, and DM privately saying, I'm very excited to meet you on this event. And the guy, just to be nice, replied, "Yes, it's going to be a pleasure to meet you too. It will be a great experience," something on those lines, which is kind of PR kind of a thing there that you have to do when you have this kind of celebrity status, let's say, in the community. Yeah, I think something like that happened, and then he basically managed to lawyer it up pretty well. And yeah, for them not to be an shame here, because probably on the Twitch platform somebody did something that they were not supposed to do, and because the guy just wanted to be paid, and probably to avoid any kind of discovery, in the sense that the guy just was trying to be nice, probably to a minor, which if it was something like that, the Twitch has his faults there. And because, again, I think it was something, most likely something in those lines. But yeah, they are trying to put this guy under the ground, and I think the latest development is basically the guy is taking a scheduled vacation. I think it's something that I already planned, but I think he's going to extend a little bit there. I will assume him for take a breather out of this shit, and probably see if there is, and I think if he can, and if you think it's worth. And if there is grounds for him to lawyer up again and sue out of these people, because just by the fact that people are trying to get your life ruined out of allegations, it's not a good way of life, because any crazy people can allege anything against you, and then you are fucked up for life because of an allegation. Again, um, bad things are done by bad people, and that happens. But again, with the Me Too stuff, when all believe all women shit, when that thing started to happen, Again, of course, that there are always cases where the allegations are true, but because a lot of crazy people take advantage of the real victims of this kind of situations, you get a lot of this thing. And then when you enter in the press, there is now a legal precedent on firing people just because somebody alleged something. Yeah, this is not a good state and of things, and I think this need to people will start learning when they get sued for defamation, libel, and stuff like that, because it can ruin the reputation. In this case of this guy, given that a lot of his business is done by the fact that he has supposedly a good reputation in the business that he enters. If people try to ruin his reputation, people are going to get probably sued out of existence if they try to defamate somebody like this. And I think it's well deserved if he did nothing wrong, and taking accounts the legalities around the settlement that he did with Twitch, if he can sue them for defamation, I think it's something. Because again, I think I'm not a lawyer again, but I think if you're going for defamation, and if there is kind of a discovery process, let's say, in the sense that people have to expose proof, I don't know how the accused is going to prove the guilt of the accused. And in this case, let's say, supposedly, how will Dr. Disrespect in court will prove that he was not guilty by presenting proof that supposedly is under an NDA? I don't know how that will work. If the NDA is void in that sense, in the sense that in a case of court, he can't present stuff that might be under an NDA to prove his innocence. Again, I don't know how that works in terms of the legalities of things. But yeah, my overall take is it's a shit show. And yeah, let's see how this develops. But then again, my thing is, don't go just based off allegations, because it's a he said she said thing. And yeah, as long as he said she said, I don't believe either way. If you want to accuse somebody, come with the proof. That's my overall take on this. For sure there are going to be some exceptions here and there, but again, in a general sense, on the internet, when you accuse somebody, and especially when you're trying to grift out of the situation itself by trying to sell tickets for your shows, yeah, I don't believe it. This kind of accusations, just because he makes an allegation and just because he work on the company and he supposedly has some secret access to information. Yeah, I don't think this guy is going to be in good hands from now on. Probably he's going to have to shut up and stop talking, or else he will get sued out of existence. But yeah, basically this is it. It's very short topics, but very long rants on those topics. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up with some game deals. We got mudrunner, 80% off. Seems a pretty good one. Again, it's an older game, but again, we don't have a lot of these days. And yeah, 80% off, it's a good price here. We got Sandland, it's still 34% off. We got also the Invincible, 34%. Dredge is still on sale, also 35% off, and Lords of the Fallen, 50% off in all editions. On GG, we got the Plague Tale games, 80% on the first one and 60% on the second one. We got Alien Isolation, the collection. Again, if you're not sure about this, the base game, it's pretty good also. Again, I will eventually replay this game in 4K. We got Days Gone, 75% off. Again, this seems a very underrated game. From what I think even the mechanics are very underrated. I think they are pretty good, and the PC port itself is excellent from what I've been seeing from the reviews. We got also Wolfenstein, the 2-pack, so it's the Old Blood and the New Order in one pack here, 75% off. And then we got Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus, 85% off. Again, Youngblood, I don't think it's a good game there. I think this is the last mainline game, decent mainline game from the Wolfenstein reboot there. But yeah, and then that, I'll wrap up for today with a plug on my Patreon, as usual, for extra support. Again, the extra support is at this moment in time for me to get a storage solution, so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. But yeah, basically this is it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.